Alright, the first thing you'll want to do is go to Google Classroom to grab this file that you'll need for today. Make sure you download it. So click on here and click on download if you can see that here. If not, you may need to open in a new tab, which I think Chrome has updated to where this just automatically gives you the download option. And then you're going to want to open this to get started. So you'll see this is in protected view, so you'll want to enable editing. And what you see here is a research paper that was written by somebody else, obviously. And we're going to be learning how to format this correctly. In the future, when you get older in high school, you'll have to write your own research papers. So this is just an example of how to format it and add the important components for that research paper. Alright, so the first thing we want to do is make sure that we have this document spaced correctly. So we'll want to select everything, which the shortcut for that is Control-A to select all the text. And for a research paper, the standard formatting for spacing is 2 point, or otherwise known as double spaced. And you'll notice there's, between paragraphs, there's a little bit of extra space. Again, in a research paper, the standard is it's equally spaced, so there's no space after paragraphs. So you should remember that that's found in the Layout tab. And we're going to remove the space after by clicking the down arrow till it gets to 0. Alright, first thing we're going to do now is add to the document some space at the top by selecting the very first line of text all the way to the left. We're going to press Enter. Now we have a blank paragraph. We're going to place our cursor there. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in so you can see this larger. And we're going to start typing. So at the top, there's some required information. It will be you, the student name. We're going to all use the same information. So Gerard is the student. Then the teacher's name. Then the class. Then the date. And then we're going to press Enter, and now this is the title of our research paper. Now I want to center this. So you can just go ahead and go to Home tab and find the center button, click on that. And we're just going to go ahead and press save right now so we get in the habit of periodically doing that. Now we're going to insert a page number. So we're going to go to the Insert tab, and that is going to be found in the header footer option. So we can go to the header. Actually, in that section, there is a button for page number. First thing we want to do is we're going to get into the header. And for this, there's a format, specific format, and it would be the student's last name. So in this case it's Foster. Then there would be a space after that, and then we would include the page number at this current position. So now we're going to click on the button for page number, and we're going to use it at the current position. And we want just the plain number. So nothing fancy, just plain number. So I'm going to scroll to the next page just to make sure that this is being updated with that information. So at the top of page 2, it should say Foster 2. So we are getting our pages numbered correctly, and it's also including our last name on every page. Now we want this page number to be aligned to the right. So let's go to the Home tab and then click Align Right. That should adjust all pages. Page 2. Alright. Near the top of page 1, look at the paragraph that begins "Many of us." It's the very first paragraph in the body of text. Many of us. We're going to first double click to get out of the header, and then click to insert your cursor at the beginning of the paragraph. Now we're going to scroll to view the very bottom, the end of our entire document. So now we have 3 pages. We're going to hold down the Shift key and then click at the end of the document. Whoops, I just added a tab. Let's undo that. So clicked here, scroll to the bottom, hold the Shift key down, and click at the end of the document. Now everything in between our starting point and the end point has been selected. It's the body of our research paper. Now we're going to get into the paragraph settings by finding the little button in the lower right hand corner of the paragraph group. We're going to click on that, and in indents and spacing, which it should open up to that, we're going to find the special, and we're going to indent the first line by 0.5 inches, which should be the default. We're going to click OK. Now every paragraph should be indented by 1/2 inch. Now we're going to go back to the very top of the document. And we're going to get into the footer. So there's a way to get there by going to Insert, go to the footer, and then go to Edit Footer. Or if you'd like to, you can scroll down to the bottom of any page and double click into the footer. We're going to edit the footer, and we're going to include, actually we forgot to rename, so first thing we want to do is save this as, we're going to browse, and since this is the first assignment we've done in chapter 3, we need to create a new folder. We're going to call this one Word Chapter 3. I have multiple Word Chapter 3 folders, so I'm going to add an A at the end of mine. You don't need to do that. And then click anywhere outside of the name to just accept that. And then we're going to double click that new folder to get inside of it. Now this folder is empty, so this will be the first file that we save in here. And what I'm going to do is, instead of renaming the entire thing, I'm going to keep the quantitative technology and 3A in the name, but everything to the left of that I'm going to delete. And then I'm going to type in my last name underscore first name underscore. So it should be last name, first name, 3A quantitative technology. We're going to save it, and it's going to save in this new folder. Now that we've updated the name, which should show at the top of our document, we're going to add that document info file name into the footer. We've done this several times, so this should be just routine by now. Go ahead and save your document, just to, again, just get in the habit of doing that every once in a while. Alright, we're going to go to page 2. So double click to get out of the footer and find page 2. And we're looking for the upper portion that begins, the paragraph that begins according. Actually, let's see. No, accurate records. Second paragraph here. The third line of the paragraph, click to position the insertion point to the right of the period after infancy. So 1, 2, 3, third line to the right of the period. So after the period, after the word infancy, that's where we're looking to place our cursor. Now we're going to go to the References tab. This is where you'll find a lot of the tools that you would use for a research paper. So things like table of contents, footnotes, citation, bibliography, all that good stuff. So we're going to be adding a footnote into this document at this current position. So we're going to find the button that says Footnotes. It's a larger button there, it says Insert Footnote. You'll notice we move automatically to the bottom of that page, and you have a line, dividing line here, and then the number 1, and now we can insert our footnote. So we're going to start typing now. Alright, so notice the information that we are typing here is a continuation of the theme in that paragraph that we just were at in the document. So a footnote is additional information that you don't necessarily need in your main portion of the document, but if you want to cite more information, you could include that information in the footnote. So let's just check in our document. I'm going to scroll up till I see this little number 1 after the word infancy. So this means we've placed this footnote here, and the sentence before that says accurate records and data have always been essential components of healthcare. However, the notion and widespread implications of using technology to help record and keep track of this data is still in its infancy. Then here's a footnote. The Department of Health and Human Services indicates that the use of health information technology will improve the quality of health care. So that's the concept behind footnotes and the process of adding one. So you have to determine where you want to place it. Click. It is supposed to be placed on the outside of the period, so outside the sentence. And then you would type the information in the footnote at the bottom of the page. Alright, now click the Home tab, and we're going to just view the font size that we're using. Currently it is set to 10. In the document, our font size is 11. So in this research paper, those two things are supposed to be the same. So we're going to modify that in just a minute. So we're going to, right now, we're going to add another footnote. So scroll to the view at the top of page 1. So in the first paragraph, we need to find the word time. So that's at the end of the paragraph. So we're going to position our cursor to the right of the period at the end of that paragraph. We're going to insert another footnote. So that's found on the References tab. Insert footnote. You'll notice that this one is numbered number 1. So notice that we previously had a footnote numbered number 1, but now this one that we just inserted is also labeled number 1. So let's just scroll up and see that this footnote here that we've labeled is number 1. And let's go check our second one that we did actually first. Now it's numbered 2. So Word is automatically renumbering our footnotes. So whatever comes first in the document will have the smaller number. So since this one is first in the document, it is number 1. So anyone after that would be labeled number 2, and so on and so forth. Alright, at the bottom of page 1, we're going to point anywhere in the footnote text. So make sure you're on page number 1. We're going to click anywhere. Mine's already still in there. And now we're going to change the style of this, like I mentioned before. We're going to right click and we're going to change the style of this. So we're going to click where it says Style, and the current one is set to footnote text. We're going to modify this. So we're going to click on the Modify button. And the first thing we're going to do is change the font size. So right now it is set to 10. We're going to set that to 11 to match the font size of our document. Now in the lower left-hand corner of this box, we're going to click on the Format button. And we're going to go to Paragraph. So now we're 3 boxes in. We have one where we right-clicked and chose Style. Then that opened this window. And now we've clicked Format and gone to the paragraph settings. So in this in the indents and spacing tab, which it should open up there, under indentation, click the special arrow. We're going to choose a first line indent of 1/2 inch. Now, there's also something we're going to change in here. Since this is single spaced, we want to make this also double spaced. So an easy way to remember all the things that you need to change is we changed the document to double spaced, so we want the footnotes to also be double spaced. We added a first line indent to the document, so we're also going to add a first line indent to the footnotes. And our document is set to font size 11, so we changed our font size also to be 11. So we're just going to click OK on all of these and then click Apply, and you can see it changed the footnote to be indented, double spaced, and 11 or size 11 font. Alright, we've got all of that done. So next we have scroll to the we're just scrolling to the bottom of page 2 to make sure that that applied to the second footnote as well, which it did. And we're going to press save. Now on the References tab, let's see, I think we need to be at a specific spot. Alright, so first we're going to go to the References tab, and in the Citations and Bibliography group, which is this one here, we want to make sure that the style is set to MLA. So if you need to change that, you can click on this down arrow and make sure it's set to MLA. Now we're going to scroll to the middle of page 2, and we're finding the paragraph that begins accurate records, and we're placing our cursor at the end of this paragraph. All the way to the right of the quotation mark. Now we're going to add what's called a citation. So we're going to find in the Reference tab, in the Citations and Bibliography group, we're going to click the larger button that says Insert Citation. We're going to add a new source, and we're going to be adding a book. So mine was set to website. I'm going to change that to book, which is the first option. Now we're going to add some information in. So the author goes in the author section here. Going to add a notepad here so I can tell you what this is and you can see it. So in the author section, you're going to type in this. For the title, can't type today. So that's all on one line there. And then for the year 2012, city, New York, publisher, so you're going to fill in the blanks for the title, year, city, publisher, all that good stuff. So you're inputting this information in these boxes. I just wanted to make this a little bit larger, so I'm using this. So you might need to pause video to type the rest of that in. I'm just going to copy and paste mine. Alright, once you have all the information placed in the boxes, we're going to click OK. And notice what happened in the document. So after the quotation, there is now a space, and then in parentheses, the last name of the author. That is a citation. So there's a quote in here. Starts with the emergence of power. So this sentence is a quote of another person's work. So anytime you quote somebody else, you need to give them credit for that information. So you're going to add a citation, which is what we just did here. Alright, so we're going to edit this citation. So if you click on the citation itself, you'll highlight the word and there'll be this box around it, and you have this down arrow. So we're going to click the citation options arrow. We're going to edit the citation. And now in the section that says add, we're going to reference the page number. The page number is 5. I'm just going to type in 5. Then click OK. Notice what happened. We've now added the page number, which is in MLA formatting. You need the author's last name and the page number in parentheses. Alright. So in this also, this is supposed to be inside the sentence in MLA formatting. So we're going to add a period after the citation and delete the period before the quotation mark. So in MLA formatting, the citation is actually part of the sentence. So it will be included before the period. Alright, now we're going to go to the end of the document. So we're scrolling all the way down. In the last paragraph, we're going to, after the letter E in disease, we're going to place our insertion point there. And we're going to include another citation. So we're going to click here. And it's going to be a new source. So you'll notice we've added one source to this research paper. We're going to be adding another source. And again, I will open up my notepad here. We're done with this one. I'll delete that. So we've got author, title. This is a long title, so this is going to word wrap. This is all the same in the same box. Whoops. Alright, so you may want to pause the video at this point. Copy in the text. Going to click OK to place that. We're going to add now a page number, so if you've forgotten, you just need to click the citation, click on the arrow, edit citation, and for page number we're just going to click in the box and type 28, then click OK. Alright, so in the reference tab in the citations and bibliography group, there's a button for managing the sources. So I'm going to click on that. You should see a list of sources here, and we have 2 sources. I'm going to click close. I just wanted to show you that we currently have two sources. Now I have multiple because I've done this before. So just showing you that you have saved now two sources in Word that you can use again. Click close. In the lower portion of page 2, so we were in page 3, in the lower portion of page 2, in the paragraph that begins doctors have, which is the last paragraph, in the third line, so 1, 2, 3, after the word states, to the left of the period, so in between the S and the period, you're going to click there to place your cursor. Now we're going to add another citation at that place. It's going to be a new source. This time it's going to be a website. So you'll have to click on the arrow and maybe scroll down till you see website. Alright, now we're going to change this stuff. So for the author, it's going to be Ogden. Name of web page. Month, January. Day, 01. Year, accessed, 2016. Month, accessed, January. Day, accessed, 17. Medium, web. Alright, so this information may change over time. That's why we're putting in specific year, day, month, all that good stuff. Because web pages, informations sometimes change depending on who is the author and whether or not they discovered more information. So you need to reference not only the web page, but when you accessed it and when the website was published. So I'm going to go ahead and insert this information here. So January 1st, 2016. I missed it. There's a year in here. This one's supposed to be 2012. Alright, so we have all this information in. You're going to click OK to add that. So again, the last name is added as a citation there. Alright, now we're going to go to the end of the document, so scrolling down to the bottom. Alright, we're going to place our insertion point right at the end of the document. Now we're going to use the shortcut Control plus Enter. So hold the Control key down and press Enter. Now what we've just done is added a page break. The other way to do that, if you happen to forget the shortcut, I'm going to undo that step, is that's an insert function. So you're going to insert a page break. Now in the Home tab in the Paragraph group, we are going to now find the paragraph settings, and we're going to remove the special first line indent. So we're going to click on where it says first line and select none. So for this page, we do not want a first line indent. Now in the References tab, we're going to find Citations and Bibliography again. And we're going to click where it says Bibliography, which is right here. So in this list of options, we're going to find at the bottom where it says Insert Bibliography. Now the entire list of 3 sources should be here. These are the 3 sources that we cited in our research paper. Now the spacing is wrong, so we need to click anywhere in the inserted text. We're going to select all 3 of these. We're going to change the line spacing to 2. And we want to remove the space after paragraph. So we're just matching our document. Now we're going to, at the top, of the page, we're going to press Enter, and we're going to type in works cited. And we're going to center this text. And we're going to save our document. Now we're going to go to the Reference tab again, and we're going to manage our sources. So here we have our 3 sources. On the left in the master list, we're going to find the one that says Spool or Sopol Eric, S-O-P-O-L. I have multiple of them. I'm hoping I'm picking the right one here. And then we're going to, so we have one selected. And then in between these two lists, there's the edit button. So we're going to edit this source. So in the author, we're going to change the name from Sopol to Topol. So the S we're going to change to a T. Click OK, and then close. And I probably had the wrong one selected. So hopefully yours changed. Alright, so in the lower right corner, click, we close that. Okay, so here we are. Scroll to view the lower portion of page 2 now. So we can see that that did not change. So we're going to click on this and then click on the arrow button, and we're going to now click Update Citations and Bibliography. Now it should have changed, but mine didn't because I probably had the wrong one selected. Now we're going to move to the top of the document. Now click the View tab. And in the navigation and the show group, click on Navigation pane. So now we're going in the search document. Click the arrow to the right. Actually, no. Let's see. It says more things. Yes, search for more things. That's what we want to do. So we're going to click in that box. We're going to find, oh wait, we want to do this and click on Find. That's what we want. We want to find in Footnotes and Edits. There's 2 results. We want to click, so we're at our first one here, number 1. I'm going to click the down arrow to go to number 2. Now we're going to click on the Find the Replace. And we want to find Actually, I think we're done. This is not really important. So we're going to close that, close that. We're going to do a print preview just to see what this is going to look like. You should have 3 pages, or actually 4. The 4th one is your works cited page. Make sure that you go back and save And if you're virtually learning, you'll want to submit this by uploading this file to the Google Classroom. And if you are in class, you can print this out to hand it in.